Hello and welcome everybody to Sound Off with Sinkoff. I'm your host, Brian Sinkoff. Glad you could join me here on all of your podcast platforms. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as we get into it here. It's been a hot minute since I've been with you. Glad to be back. Olympics in full swing. I know many of you are watching the Olympic Games in Paris, Summer Olympics. They're my absolute favorite. Probably because America does pretty well at these summer games, even though obviously there's no Russia in these Olympics. So takes things away a little bit from our accomplishments. But nevertheless, the Olympics are awesome. Enjoyed watching the Olympics ever since I was a little kid. Had a big crush on Mary Lou Retton when I was 13 back in 1984. Those were one of my first memories of the summer games. But anyway, I love looking at social media and people have opinions about gymnastics. People have opinions about swimming and diving. And I love that. But what I don't love is that people think they're a gymnastics expert. You have no concept as to what the hell you're talking about, okay? We turn into these Olympic experts every 4 years. Be honest with me out there, people. When is the last time you watched gymnastics? The floor routine, the balance beam, the uneven bars, the pommel horse. You haven't watched the Olympics since guess when? The last Olympics 4 years ago. You're not an expert. Stop trying to be. You're not a judge. Like, we have no concept of what a triple back handspring with a twist looks like, how it's executed. How do we judge this? But we all sit at home on our couch and say that was a good landing, or, say it wasn't a good landing. Like the other night, my wife Francine and I were watching, and the young lady from the U.S., it was such a difficult, actually, no, it was a guy. It was the men's team. Such a difficult move. He did like a triple twist, a triple flip, and he didn't stick the landing. But because the attempt was so difficult, he got a great score. And I looked at Francine. I said, Francine, I'm like a sports nut. I mean, forever, whatever it's worth. I have this silly little podcast or whatever. I'm this big sports nut, and I have no idea how to judge that. I have no idea what he just did. I don't have any idea how they practice these things. Like, how do you practice that and not get hurt? Because forget sticking the landing. Like, how do you practice that and not land on your head? I mean, I know it's years, and these are rhetorical questions, but it's like years and years and years of practice and training at the highest level. I get it. But reality is we have no clue. We act like we've been coaching the sport for 25 years. Reality, we watched it 4 years ago for 25 minutes. I mean, that is what cracks me up about the Olympic Games, because you see it every single year. Like, I know it's coming. Here comes the Olympics. Everybody turns into a gymnastics expert on Facebook. Everybody's an expert on Twitter. It never ceases to amaze me. The same thing with diving. I don't know anything about diving. Less than 1% of the population has a clue about diving or can properly judge gymnastics. Literally less than 1%. I've got to take a little sip here. Excuse me. Good time to let you know the Sound Off with Sinkoff is sponsored by the Sinkoff Realty Group. And if you want one of these schnazzy mugs, all you have to do is just message me. Send me a DM. Send me an email, brian@sinkoffrealtygroup.com. Go on my website and email me there. I don't care. Just say you want a mug. Say you saw it on my podcast, and I'm going to send you a mug. How about that? It's not a bad little deal. So I'm a little parched here talking about the Olympic Games. I'm getting tired just talking about the Olympics, much less doing it. But it's the pole vault, the javelin. We haven't really, track is coming up, but we haven't really gotten much into track yet. But the same thing with the pole vault, same thing with javelin. It's just the whole thing cracks me up. Triple back gainer with an inverted flip twist. Like, what does that even mean? Could you do that? Could you describe that to me? If I said you got 5 minutes to describe what a triple gainer with an inverted twist is. No. So why are we trying to judge the gymnastics in the Olympic Games? So that's what's funny about all this. Like, you're a gymnastics expert. You haven't done a somersault since 5th grade. You're a diving expert. You don't even dive into your own pool. Yeah, you get in your pool and you float, but you're telling everyone on Facebook how good the dive was, or you haven't swam a lap since the Clinton administration, and yet you're talking about how the guy from Australia wasn't better than the American. Like, it's just funny. You don't even go underwater in your own backyard pool, but you're an expert in the 100-meter freestyle event. Like, I love the Facebook comments about these sports. It's actually mind-boggling. And we also don't realize that these Olympic athletes, this is like another level. This is not, I'm a good swimmer on the local swim team, or I did good at the, no knock to the state tournament or the Section 2 tournament in New York. But these swimmers, they're not swimming at high school. They're going to like the U.S. training center when they're 15, wherever the hell the swimming one is. I know most of them are in Colorado. I'm sure it is. But these swimmers are really picked at, such a young age, and they're swimming, they're training for these games. It's very, very difficult to just come from a high school, not impossible, but difficult to come from a high school and just start swimming on that level. It is just another level. And I think that is like the one thing about the Olympics I really appreciate. I really love. And that is just, the ability of these athletes. 'Cause I think one thing that's really cool for me about the Summer Olympics is that it's far different than the Winter Olympics. The Winter Olympics it's almost like the events were created on a dare. You know what I mean? Like, I dare you to jump off a giant ski jump, going 60 miles an hour and try to land on your skis. I dare you to do moguls. I dare you go down a luge, feet first, not looking where you're going. I dare you to get in a bobsled. Again, only have one person steering, and they're not even really steering, and go down this ice freaking track. Like, the Winter Olympics are created on a dare. The Summer Olympics are, I don't want to, the sports feel more natural, maybe. They feel like we all could sort of do them in our own little goofy sort of way. I can envision myself running. I mean, granted, I would be like the Eddie the Eagle of the track team, but you can envision yourself even swimming in a pool. Obviously, you're not going at the level of these Olympic athletes, but I just feel like the Summer Games, it's just a little more maybe identifiable. I think we can identify with the games a little bit more than we can the Winter Olympics, which I don't ski. I don't do a lot of winter sports, so it's hard for me to fathom any of these things. But most of the summer sports, maybe there are some exceptions. I did breakdance. So breakdancing was something that I did in 7th grade. I was actually on a breakdance team. Believe it or not, we had Sweet Puma. I think they were like gray or brown and red. That was like our Puma sweatsuit outfit. We had a whole outfit and everything. But yeah, like most of the events, with maybe like the exception of javelin and hammer throw and shot put, I've done. You played basketball, right? Most of us have. You've played basketball. You've run. Maybe we haven't done the hurdles, right? But you've run around a track at one point in your life. You swam in a pool. You've dove off a diving board. Again, not the level, but so that's why I think for me, there's just great appeal in the Summer Games, because I feel like We can identify with it. We can envision how hard it is when we're swimming in a pool. You know, you go 1 or 2 laps, you're exhausted. Some of these guys and gals, they're going 8 laps, 10 laps for the longer events, or full sprinting for 2 laps. That's extremely difficult. And that's why I love the summer games, because America's pretty good at it, and it's kind of relatable. You can see and you can understand just the skill and something you've done yourself, so we can relate. We can picture ourselves maybe in that situation. Again, Winter Olympics, I don't think I've done any when I can't ice skate, I can't snowboard, I can't figure skate, I can't ski, I can't bobsled, I've never done luge. So there's not one sport in the Winter Olympic Games I've ever done. Summer Olympics, most of us have done, not necessarily saying we've run a 100-meter track event, but we have run around a track. We have swam in a pool. We've dove off a diving board. I wrestled in high school, so I can even say I wrestled. Hell, I breakdanced. Synchronized swimming, no, most of us haven't, but we have done flips in the pool. And, I remember me and my friends when we were teens, we used to do handstands and see how far we could walk underwater. I mean, yeah, it's not synchronized swimming, but it's in the family of synchronized swimming. So that's kind of my take on the Olympics. Just wanted to give you my thoughts on it. Love everyone watching the Olympics. I think it's hilarious that we all turn into gymnastics experts. And look, me too, for that matter. I caught myself the other night with Francine because we both went, oh, he didn't stick the landing. And then they gave him some preposterously high score. That's because the degree of difficulty was hard. And I don't even know where the hell they come up with the degree of difficulty. So if you do, message me or post it in the chat here. And again, Sinkoff Realty Group mug, yours for the taking. All you have to do is send me an email or a text or a message, and I'll get one out to you right away. All right, that is going to do it for this edition of Sound Off with Sinkoff. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Plenty more good materials coming your way, good material. And until next time, everybody, have a great day.